Tonight on Southwest Local News. Reliable trains said to be a key issue for the November election. A local high-angle rescue success with a teenager retrieved from a height. First People's Assembly elects its first 3 representatives. And in sport, Merivale looks to take on Panmure in District League clash this Saturday.
Live from Silver Ball Studios in Warrnambool, this is Southwest Local News with Sharna Rogers.
Good evening and welcome to Southwest Local News. A public forum at the Warrnambool train station yesterday afternoon has heard an election promise from the Victorian Liberal Party. Member for Southwest Coast Roma Britnell, Shadow Minister for Public Transport Matthew Guy and Member for Polwarth Richard Reardon presented to concerned members of the public. The trio said that if elected in November, the Liberal Party would make the adjustments needed to ensure the Warrnambool to Melbourne train service would have 6 carriages instead of 3. They also said the current reservation system would be overhauled and made more workable. When asked if costing had been done on this promise, Mr Reardon told Southwest Local News that everything needed was already in place, it just had to have some adjustments made. Mr Guy told the crowd the election promise was the first steps towards what he hoped would be longer-term reforms, including purpose-built country trains.
The election promise today is a really clear one. We will, the minute we can hook up the 3 extra carriages, get the booking system back on track, that's number one. That alleviates a big whack of the immediate pain and suffering that people are having on the Warrnambool line. It's what we heard today, people that just don't feel safe organising their appointments, they're giving up going to visit their family, they're not going to the big events in Melbourne because they just don't believe they can get back on the train or they're going to be stuck left standing and things like that. We heard very powerful stories today from the disability sector. Can't get your cart on, can't turn around, there's not proper storage, you can't get to the bathrooms, really basic stuff. Now, we can't solve all of that day one, but as Matthew made really clear, we have short, medium and long term. The medium is to get the improvements done in Melbourne that free up more velocity carriages so that we can actually run more services. And then after that, the next lot of orders for velocity upgrades have to be purpose-built long-haul trains that have the catering cart, the better seats and more comfort and better storage. And storage, one of the big costs that we've not been covering is here in Warrnambool City, Moyne Shire and Corangamite Shire, we're trying to encourage tourism through cycling and outdoor adventure. We're stopping people getting on the train in Melbourne with their bikes and things because we don't have enough room for them. That's crazy stuff.
And have you got a costing on them initial steps?
Well, the initial steps, the technology's there. Like the cost's not there. It's about reorganising what we've got. It's about speeding up the repairs and maintenance at the Ballarat yards. Anecdotally, we're hearing that there's, they've got the go-slows on repairs and maintenance. We've got the stock there. Let's face it, the train most of the time leaves Southern Cross with 6 carriages and they leave 3 of them behind in Geelong.
A positive outcome to a high-angle rescue operation that took place in East Warrnambool early on Tuesday afternoon. 4 emergency services vehicles attended the scene at a playground in Wanstead Street near the Gateway Church of Christ. Police reported a teenage boy was stuck on a playground gazebo but was safely brought down. The 3 Southwest Victoria representatives for the Victoria's First People's Assembly have been elected. Uncle Michael Bell, Nathan Lovett-Murray and Tani Morris have been voted in. Results of the Assembly's election were announced on Friday by the Treaty Authority, with 17 new members elected from across the state. A further 12 reserved seats for traditional owner groups are elected through separate community processes. The elections came after the Assembly negotiated the country's first treaty with the Victorian government last year. 9 Victorian universities arrived to Warrnambool's Wannon Rooms to bring resources to young Indigenous community members descending on Warrnambool for the first time yesterday afternoon. The event brought together Koori units from each participating university to connect directly with young people. Attendees were given the opportunity to speak with university representatives about available support pathways, resources and how higher education can align with their personal and professional aspirations. The expo also featured additional stallholders, guest speakers, activities offering cultural inclusive environment designed to lower barriers to further education. The Turong Manong series continues, reinforcing a broader push to improve Indigenous students' access to university guidance and community support networks.
So making sure that students do have the right information for the right pathways to help them succeed through school, even if schooling is not what they're looking for. At least they still have the resources to circle back to go to higher education. So that's why we've outreached to RTO providers also, because taking side steps to TAFE helps them get further in life too. And that helps set them up for success and take them where they need to go and set up any career path they're looking for.
Yesterday, Water opened the gates to the Warrnambool sewage treatment plant that cost $85 million. Here is the full report.
The construction period took a long period of time, but great for the Warrnambool community, industry, but also growth for Warrnambool.
Water has completed an $85 million upgrade to the Warrnambool sewage treatment plant, the utility's largest ever single infrastructure project.
The quality of the effluent heading out to the ocean is it's meeting all EPA requirements. So yeah, it feels wonderful to reach the conclusion of such a big project.
Water Managing Director Stephen Waterhouse emphasised that the company has successfully met the requirements and has also fallen under budget, all while experiencing pressures from the fuel cost crisis.
I put that down to one, our project team, but two, also the CCB team working together really closely to achieve that outcome.
At the unveiling, Helen Scarborough reflected on the history of the sewage plant in Warrnambool and how far it's come since its inception.
It's nearly 100 years since the city's first sewage system was constructed during the Great Depression. That project took 3 years, and it was large teams of men who were partly unemployed because of the Great Depression, and it was a part of a relief scheme, and they were desperate for work. It involved dangerous, back-breaking manual labour with tunnels dug by hand under the city streets and through the coastal cliffs. Rock falls were common, and there were 2 fatalities and several serious injuries reported in the local newspaper. So it was dangerous, and it was back-breaking manual labour. Sadly, it's past that it's important for us to remember and to realise how far we've come, particularly in terms of our zero harm and our respect for employees and workers, particularly on this site that was a large project.
The works included 2 new treatment tanks, a new inlet pump station and an ultraviolet disinfection system, boosting storage capacity by around 50%. The facility currently services nearly 15,000 properties across the region. The upgrade is projected to support an additional $199 million in annual economic output and 1,512 new jobs by 2040. The plant is expected to service up to 25,000 properties over the next 50 years as the region continues to grow. Sharna Rogers, Southwest Local News. Koroit is in full preparation mode for its annual Koroit Irish Festival. The festival will begin on Friday and carries through until Sunday. The Australian Danny Boy Championship, the street procession, a free kids area and Gaelic games are all on the agenda. The festival is expected to attract up to 5,000 people to the town, doubling its population. Tickets for the festival are still on sale, and Fitzmedia will be broadcasting from the festival on Friday from 1 p.m. Further protection for women and children suffering family violence will become available thanks to a planned allocation in the Victorian state budget. When the budget is handed down next week, $3.5 million will be set aside for a family violence personal safety initiative. The personal safety initiative allows victim survivors to access important but often costly practical security upgrades. This includes stronger doors and locks, alarms, lighting and security cameras. A further $6.4 million will go to the strengthening of women's safety package. This package is aimed at helping women and children from diverse backgrounds experiencing family violence who often face unique barriers, risks and gaps in accessing support. Warrnambool City Council is hosting grant information sessions. The first of these will be at the Lighthouse Theatre on May the 13th, with the next at the Lady Bay Resort on May the 23rd. They are aimed at helping community groups, supporting groups, artists and event organisers better understand the process and put their ideas forward. The workshop on May the 23rd will be delivered by Moyne Shire Councillor and Communications Professional Karen Foster. To sign up for both events, go to the Council's website. Agriculture Victoria is hoping it can exhaust its latest funding allocation. The department has a $600,000 funding pool to hand out to community groups who have a plan to kill invasive species. The funding is part of the Partnership Against Pests Grants program, which is now open. It is aimed at arming community to tackle established pests and weeds. Applications can be made at the Agriculture Victoria website. Forward planning has already begun for the 2026 Victorian Seniors Festival. To be held in October, the theme of the festival is Connect, Create and Celebrate. Crankamite Shire Council is encouraging community groups to be proactive and organise events as part of the festival. Council can assist groups with staging of events through promotion means. Council is taking expressions of interest to list events. That's all in general news, and after the break we'll return with sport.
We use the Ridley team, make a phone call, I get high quality advice. We tend to have 6 weekly visits from the team where we do a full farm walk and herd health check. They check in on production and the feeding rate. It's something I don't have to worry too much about because I'm always comfortable that they will have it under control. The feed that comes out of Ridley's fully confident every day of the year that it's high quality grain or pellets.
At ASAP Local Plumbing, we know that when it comes to your home or business, you need a team that gets the job done right the first time. From expert hot water system installations to full septic tank and drainage solutions, we handle the heavy lifting so you don't have to. We're your go-to, trusted professionals for water quality and filtration. Get in touch today to book a quote or visit our website. ASAP Local Plumbing, your local plumbing experts.
Hi, it's Rob from the Vet Group. Heifers are the future of a dairy herd, and the Vet Group is here to help your heifers meet their potential, whether that's by monitoring worm egg counts or mineral levels, or designing a vaccination calendar to help prevent infectious disease. Our techs and vets can make things easier for you on farm by weighing heifers, assisting in synchrony programs, and teat sealing heifers to prevent mastitis at calving. The Vet Group, making herd care easy.
B&B Furniture Plus now stock a range of adjustable beds. They have mobility aids to help you live your life to the fullest, and lift chairs for the best in comfort. B&B Furniture Plus is locally owned at 203 Lava Street, Warrnambool.
Tonight's sport is proudly brought to you by Nutrient Ag Solutions, Warrnambool and Timboon. Getting the most out of your farm. Contact the team today.
Welcome back, and first making news in sport. Mayor Vale will be hoping to snap a 3-game losing streak this Saturday. It will be a tough task for the Tigers, who will travel to take on Panmure. After winning their opening game of the season, the Tigers have since lost to Timboon Demons, South Rovers and Russells Creek. They are on 4 teams with just 1 win, although the Tigers have played an extra game due to their Good Friday clash. Other round 4 games this weekend are Allansford versus Timboon Demons, Coolaroonurat at home to Noranda, and South Rovers visiting Old Collegians, and Russells Creek taking on Dennington. Warrnambool and District A-grade netball juggernaut Noranda will be back on the court this weekend. The Blues cooled their heels last week when Dennington forfeited the game. Prior to that, the Blues had got off to a flying start, winning both of their games. After being beaten in last season's grand final, the Blues look keen to make amends under new coach Steph Townsend. On Saturday, they will play Coolaroonurat, with the Power coming off a competitive loss to Allansford last round. Terang Mortlake remains undefeated after 3 rounds of Hampton League football. This run of wins has the Bloods on top of the ladder. On Sunday, the Bloods had a comfortable win over Cobden, with Will Kane kicking 4 goals. This Saturday, the Bloods will host Port Fairy and will be hoping to make it 4 in a row. The Bloods have had a slow start in recent seasons and had to do some late season catch-up. In view of this, Terang Mortlake coach Lewis Taylor is thrilled with the strong start.
It was a pretty big focus, obviously coming off the start we had last year, where I reckon we might have won 1 of the first 3. So yeah, it was a pretty big focus, and boys are they've been motivated through the whole pre-season to make sure we get a good start. We've been able to do that, so that's been pleasing.
And you seem to have a bit more depth this year.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's some very good young players that are playing, and I think we've just got a pretty good mix at the moment. And even some of the guys in the 18s and reserves are playing well. So yeah, it's been a good start, and guys are playing well and buying in and trying to do everything they can to put their best foot forward. So that's good.
It will be time to shine for the rest of Hampton Open Grade competition this weekend. League powerhouses South Warrnambool and Karoo will have the weekend off in lieu of their Good Friday game earlier in the season. North Warrnambool Eagles will take momentum into the home game against Portland. Last week, the Eagles had their first win, a 1-goal victory over Camperdown. In other games this Saturday, Warrnambool play Camperdown, Port Fairy travel to play Terang Mortlake, and Hamilton will host Cobden. That's all in sport, and today in Warrnambool we experienced a partly cloudy day with strong winds and overnight temperatures falling to 11. We had temperatures as high as 19.5 degrees throughout the day. After the break, we'll go through the forecast for the region. Back shortly.
Lava Street Veterinary Clinic on Raglan Parade is a caring, family-run clinic offering exceptional care at affordable prices. We're the only clinic in Warrnambool dedicated to small animals: paws, feathers, scales and fins. For over 40 years, our family tradition has been our commitment to your pet's wellbeing. With a purpose-built facility and the latest technology, we provide gold standard care. From community de-sexing days to special offers each month, experience the difference at Lava Street Veterinary Clinic.
Hi, Ben Cunnington here. When it comes to looking after my property, there's one place I trust, Bell's Garden Centre. They stock ride-on mowers from Ferris, Ariens and Country Clipper, plus small power equipment from Victor, Super Swift, Echo, Shindaiwa and Greenworks. With over 60 years combined servicing experience, they'll keep your gear running right. And it's not just machinery. Bell's have everything for your garden, from giftware and pots to bird baths and concrete features. They even deliver anywhere across the southwest. So if you want the best for your yard, head to Bell's Garden Centre. They've got you covered.
G'day, Jeff Cook here at the Tyre Factory Warrnambool. We're more than just tyres. Our team not only specialise in helping you with your tyre needs, but other mechanical needs as well. The Tyre Factory Warrnambool has all the leading brands of tyres, including Hankook, Maxxis and BFG. Plus we also offer a number of wheel packages and wheel alignments. Get in touch with us at the Tyre Factory Warrnambool for your mechanical needs. We are more than just tyres at the Tyre Factory Warrnambool, Raglan Parade.
Tonight's weather report is proudly brought to you by Anchor Point Retirement Village. New homes are being built now. Book a tour today.
Welcome back. And around the state, 20 to 25 degrees in the region with warmer temperatures just on the other side of Hayward for the next 3 days. The wind is coming from inland and heading out to sea. From Portland to Port Campbell, those winds will be picking up to 40 kilometres per hour. Now to the forecast. In Port Fairy tomorrow, a partly cloudy day with a top of 25 degrees. 26 on Friday with a sunny day and 35-kilometre winds. Also 26 degrees on Saturday, but conditions are changing with showers and 40-kilometre winds. In Mortlake tomorrow, northerly winds will be approaching with a top of 27 degrees. Cloud will be clearing for a sunny day on Friday, and that's due to change for Saturday with a high chance of showers, most likely in the afternoon. Northerly winds are approaching at 40 kilometres an hour. In the Colac and Camperdown region, mid-20s for the next 3 days with a top of 26 tomorrow, mostly sunny on 27 on Friday, and for Saturday 25 degrees, 5 millimetres to fall, and showers will be persisting through the rest of the weekend and into next week. Along the coast in Port Campbell, tomorrow partly cloudy with a top of 23, clearing up to start the weekend on Friday, and for Saturday a shower or two with 5 millimetres. Once again, those showers will be persisting through until next week. In Warrnambool, it will be a partly cloudy day tomorrow with a top of 26 degrees and northerly winds. On Friday, temperatures will be topping at 27 degrees, and Saturday expecting showers with northeasterly winds coming in at 35 kilometres an hour. That's it from your Southwest Local News team, and thank you for tuning in, whether that be online, on podcast or on 3-Way FM. If you missed any of the bulletin, you can watch it back on demand at southwestlocalnews.com.au. Please join us tomorrow morning with a live broadcast from Tilly Devine at 7 a.m. As for the Southwest Local News Bulletin, we will not be airing on Friday. We will keep you up to date with all of the latest on our website and our social media pages. Until Monday, with peace, good night.